Hello, this is the NoobTube. This is Ash, the Rift expert of the NoobTube team. I'm here with Zach, also a pretty good Rift player. We're here to talk about the Warlock soul today of the Mage talent tree. So the Warlock, it's a pretty versatile soul, really, isn't it, Zach?
It's a good one. It's good.
Yeah, but it's got some good PvP talents, got some good leveling, and it's got some good DPS for end level.
I haven't really played much of Warlock yet, but I think I probably will do eventually. So Ash, could you walk me through which
so
points
if we look first, the souls that go with it, because if we look at Warlock, it suggests a Necromancer and a Clawromancer with it. So, now Clawromancer's a good one to have with it because the Radiant Spores definitely are good because it heals you. Necromancers automatically you can't survive without it as Warlock because they just go hand in hand, really.
You get pets with Necromancer.
Yeah, it also provides you the pet, like an Elementalist, really.
Like a Mage.
So Clawromancer's good. Archon's good as well. It gives you another DOT. I play it with Archon because it's quite fun to do. Dominator, I don't think it really works with Dominator, really. Pyromancer, don't think so. Scholar, not really. An Elementalist, you've already got your Necromancer. So really, it's a choice between...
Like Optimum, then?
Yeah, so Clawromancer's probably the best for leveling, I would say.
Up here.
Yeah, the Clawromancer and the Necromancer, definitely. So you'd probably, when you start off, you probably want to fill that, the Improved Life Leech one first as your talent of the Warlock tree. So that's the left side one of it. It's good to fill up because that's a DOT and it gives you one. Warlocks are all about DOTs in this.
Right, okay.
Now, you then have a choice. I'd fill up the Void Bolt, which is the right-hand one, because that makes your Void Bolt...
Yeah, that's always good to have.
Yeah, it increases it to about just before the global cooldown, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get some good spells like sacrifice life for mana and shield yourself with dark armor, don't you, Zach?
Causes 8 damage to attackers. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so really, as your off points, you always want to be putting them into the Necromancer tree. The left-hand one, which is Death's Ally, which increases your damage of your death-based, which is what Warlock deals.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's always a good one, so as you can see, Zach's just gone straight in, and that gives you Necrosis, which is also a DOT.
Fills enemy with corrupting energy, causing 43 death damage over 12 seconds. Bit of a dot.
So if we then go back to the Necromancer tree, you've got your next tier, the Opportunity, which is the right-hand one of the Warlock tree, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And I put 5 points definitely into that, because 10% chance to make it anything an instant cast spell every time you cast something is just...
Yeah, that's good. Especially when you get like higher level spells that are...
Yeah, and as you can see by doing that, Zach's got Reconstruct there, which is just a heal thing, which uses your charge.
Well, that's good for leveling, because...
Yeah, and...
You need health.
A buff for increasing your endurance, so you know, just the buff for everyone.
Saves you money as well, actually, does Reconstruct.
Yeah, you don't have to buy potions and stuff, and with your sacrifice life for mana, you just can do all of that.
Balance that out.
Now, I mean, what would you think's better, Zach? Because the next one, obviously the next line, the middle, is the most important.
Vitality.
The middle one. The Vitality increases your health. I mean, that's a PvP one. If you're going to go PvP.
It's good for leveling sort of, but I wouldn't really choose it.
Yeah, the next one's definitely important. 3 points in it and increases your DOT damage by 15%. And as you can see, Zach's looking at Draining Bolt, which is also a good one. Because that's an instant cast and heals you for 50% of the damage you do from it. That's definitely a PvP one, but it's also useful for leveling. So usually I fill the left one and the middle ones, the Draining Bolt and the Nedra's Influence.
Increases damage dealt by your damage over time spells. Well, that's always good, because Warlocks are mainly dot spells, aren't they? Right?
Then, yeah, you'd want to go Nedra's Grasp, get another DOT to add to your arsenal. If you go on a PvP, the left-hand Dark Fury is a good one. That's just...
Dark energies causing 32 to 35 death damage and stunning them for 1 second. That'd probably be good for interrupting spell casting as well, I suppose.
Yeah, that's okay, but the middle one's just as good, which
chance of spells. Yeah, shall I fill
increases
that
your crit chance, so I usually fill that one.
Okay.
Now that you've done that, you get up, if you look at your spells at the bottom, you've got your Wither, which is, slows people down. You got Fear.
That's definitely good. Increases the time that it takes for them to reach you. Increases the chance that your pet will get aggro as well.
But this is the point where Warlocks really come into their own, really. They're such AoE, they do so much AoE damage, because they have those Devouring Shadows, which is a channeling. But the main one you have is that Mortality that you've got now, which is 2 more across. Which heals, which does quite a bit of damage, but also heals you for 100% of the damage you do.
Oh, that's pretty
so
good.
So whilst you're doing it, you can't die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. That enables you to do like loads of grinding.
You've also got Sacrifice Life for damage, which is there. Which is pretty good. I mean, 10% more damage might as well in a raid.
You could probably use that better for raids and stuff, because right at the end game.
Yeah. Then if you go back to the talent tree line, you can see the next one's Shadow Life. That's a good one for survivability.
Increases the caster's total max health by 50% for 20 seconds and heals them for 50% of their new total max health.
It's a survivability thing, so I get that.
Get that.
And that, just spell damage, I mean, it's always one to have, really,
Yeah.
But if you're going PvP, the one that, as you can see, Zach hasn't got but that increases your stun time on that to up to 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, you'd select that one and then you can go up to the next stage.
Yeah.
What's this new spell? We've got Warlock Armor.
It heals you every time they hit you and deals damage to them. Yeah, it's a nice one, again.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Improved Warlock Armor increases...
Again, you're always going to have your Warlock Armor on, so it's just like blooming more damage to have.
Yeah.
Then, Radiate Death's an okay one. It's more of a AoE, spreads 2 of your DOTs onto multiple people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That, I guess, if you're going for AoE. And the top Warlock spell, definitely, it's more of a PvP one than anything else. Because reduces your income damage by 80%.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But it's a 5 ability. So what I usually do, I leave Nedra's Essence and all of them, and then I go to the Necromancer tree afterwards.
Here.
Now, in the Necromancer tree, your Necrosis, which you always cast, which is left. Up there. That's pretty good talent to have. Your Necrosis.
Oh, there.
That's a good spell, and then with the upgraded talent, that increases the time by 4 seconds and increases its damage by 40%. 6 seconds and 60%. Right. So, that's a good one to have. Consumption's a PvP one, it just takes their mana and gives it to you.
Consumption? Why? Oh, that one.
That's a PvP one, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you were going PvP, it'd be nice to have. I'd just get it, because unfortunately everything else is really pathetic. And then just spend 1 point in something for the fun of it. Because you don't use your Death Bolt, you use Void Bolt. So you don't get your Deathly Calling. But just stick a point in somewhere. And then you get... Yeah, and you get up to the next tier. Which, greater consumption again increases the amount of mana. Grave Rot. Grave Rot's a useful one. It's bugged a little bit. It says deals 32 damage over 6 seconds. It actually deals that amount of damage every second to them.
Right.
So, that's a lot more useful than it lets on.
Yeah.
So that's always a good one to have for your AoE. And then you've got this Life Essence. Yeah, which...
increases healing you receive from Essence Link by 10%.
And that means that when your pet's hitting anything, you're receiving 50% healing from what they're hitting.
So, I'll max that out.
Yep.
Max that one there. Got some new spells at the bottom. Summon Skeletal Stalwart.
That's sort of a tanking pet. That's always a useful one to have. The Exhume one is a useful one, which is there.
Reduces the cast time of the mage's next undead summon. Yeah, that's like a battle res for your tank pet.
Yeah.
So if it dies in the middle of combat, you can just res it instantly, and then you're like, oh yes, well, aggro. Yeah.
Now I'd say, the last, unfortunately on this character, as you can see, we're not level 50. But what you really want to do is on that next thing, get your soul channel on your next line. Soul purge, sorry.
Soul purge there.
Yeah. Which it deals damage as a channeling spell, but also heals you and your pet. It's such a leveling benefit to have. I mean,
that seems good.
Just for the higher levels, it's so useful. And then increasing the damage of your pets, you might as well always get.
Where's that? Detonate.
There we go. That next one.
Life Bane.
Now, once you've done that, you want to get probably just the last 2 spells you want to get is those last Feign Death. Feign Death. It doesn't look useful, but it's one of the most useful spells you can get. You just do it and you drop aggro. Everything runs away from you. You can run through mobs and just cast it, and it's.
So if you're on 25% health and oh shit, I'm gonna die. Feign Death.
Yep. And then the other one next to it, which just converts your skeletal... No, not that one.
That one.
Yeah, which just makes your things buffed up. Skeletal... You can summon a skeletal zealot then, which does quite a bit of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, as I say, I'm only level 44 rather than 50. But then for the last bit, I'd go to the Chloromancer tree. Definitely. Instead of... I'd stop on the Necromancer, and I'd get natural awareness.
Increases life-based spell damage and enhances your... Yeah, I have that.
Because what you do, once you've got that, you've got this Withering Vines. That is your starter, what's it called, DOT, then, from then on. Because then it increases your intelligence by 25% for the rest of your DOT to be cast on.
Yeah, when you've maxed it out.
Yeah. And so you'd max that out, and then probably get the next one up, Empowered Veil, which is left.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Which just, it doesn't sound good, but it increases your Entropic Veil, which you want to be casting all the time, which consumes charge but increases your damage by, it'll make it 20%. So really, that's the Warlock tree.
So, should I save that so far? Save it?
Nah, don't worry. I'll
just leave it for now then.
Yeah.
This is Ash's character, by the way.
Yeah. But I think, that's the Warlock tree. It's definitely a versatile one. And I know it's definitely played at higher level specs as raiding. So
it looks like a good spec to me. We can next time when you tune in to us, we'll probably have this done for the raiding spec because we're going to be working on making how-to videos on raiding and dungeons. But that'll be coming up because we're not high enough level yet. Obviously, we're going to put the effort in. And hopefully soon we'll be having how-to videos coming out.
Yep. So
okay, make sure you tune in next time to the